Welcome back to Team Spirit against Nemiga, where we have game one going to Nemiga. Pretty great, solid draft. Came out of lanes very well, but I think, Waga, you've been talking about this. The rock in the center of that draft and gameplay was Malreen's Pango.
Yeah.
Exceptional stuff.
I mean, they could just rally around him. He was everywhere. He ganked bottom, he ganked top. He, saw people from Team Spirit showing up on his mid lane, and he pressed Q a few times, and then they were not there anymore. He played a phenomenal game. Pretty much a dream game for Pango right there. Great performance with very few mistakes. And honestly, I think doing all that while getting counterpicked. This was a first phase pick Pango with Ember counterpick, which is a good hero against it, and still he destroyed. Maybe a little bit of this comes down to Malreen just being that damn good mechanically. He is sitting at the top of the leaderboard, ranked 9 in EU right now, which means I think he's about 13,000 MMR, maybe a little bit higher. And Laurel, I mean, he's ranked 200. He's same MMR as me right now. So maybe he just got mechanically outplayed mid, because I think he should be destroying that matchup. Yeah.
I mean, you were explaining it with a slight change build. Should have been pretty good. Did go into the Flame Guard as the Ember against the Pango, which looked a little wonky. It's just always wild to me how big of a difference it can be. Thinking about, rank 200 player, in your head, you think, oh yeah, 10k MMR, looking super sick. And you have someone who's rank 9, you're like, okay, 13,000.
Yeah,
that 3k gap, that gap of MMR is some people's MMR,
Exactly. No, it's crazy, man. The top is so wild. I think the highest right now is 14k, right? I think the highest players are 14, but I don't think it goes all the way to rank 9. I'm not sure who's achieved it. It was someone broke 14k, I think. But yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I mean, it's so high up, dude. It's so high up. And these players, they just have small mechanical skills that they do here and there that are much cleaner than other people. It sounds silly, and obviously all players at top level are fantastic. But when you have these nerds who get to top of the leaderboard, they really know some very, very fine details that are... It's beautiful to watch. And last game, it was a show. We got to watch Malreen really take Team Spirit to town there.
Yeah, knowing all the ins and outs of the matchups and the movements. Beautiful to watch. So a bit of adaptation from Spirit, respecting the Pango, banning him out first phase, which leaves the techies in. Has been a spectacular hero for the region for the past couple of tours. Looked very solid as that position 4 or 5 from time to time. As it's now time for Team Spirit to grab the Spirit Breaker themselves. Not having this Storm Pugner combo, not wanting to go for Kotl too early on. What's their second pick, though, Waga?
So Bloodseeker banned out, and they pick up the Spirit Breaker. I think second here...
10 seconds remaining.
Why'd you just go Sky?
You could go for a simple combo here. I'm thinking if they want to play something else as well here, like maybe still take the Batrider early and just flex that. And then you have really great BKB piercing lockdown already secured, but Team Spirit, they're taking a bit of time to dig in here. Obviously,
do you want to think about Yataro's hero this early on?
You want to consider it, but it's hard to pick a carry when the enemy have so much room to address
pick and triple ban. Yeah,
they go for the Batrider. I like that because the reason I suggested it is because they have that flex potential between Mira and Collapse. You can even put it mid. It's not a hero that Laurel should be uncomfortable with either, as Batrider works just fine right now in mid lane. So for that reason, it's a very non-saying pick, and it shields your future picks a little bit. Whereas Nemiga now are in a more unsure spot. They are kind of the ones who have to reveal something. It's going to be a Timber. Timber is, a good hero against the Spirit Breaker in a way, but he's not that great against Batrider.
Yeah, I've always seen Batrider as a hard counter to Timber. Has that changed with the most recent patches?
I mean, a lot of Timbers end up just going for a Lotus Orb, and then you're kind of fine, but it's not really fine. Eventually, those sticky napalm adds up, and Batrider has a huge amount of magical damage, of course, so he doesn't care about your armor at all. Also, is this going to be another Aghanim's Timber? Are we going to see that again? And if so, will Team Spirit react accordingly here and get some Dispel to prepare for it? We've seen it before. Timber Aghanims can be absolutely nuts if uncountered, but it is dispellable. even though you invest 4.2k gold.
Team spirits.
So we'll
turn
see
to
how
ban.
Nemiga shield their picks here. They can ban out the puck again, same as they did last game. Also
Yeah, I guess
respect
another-
ban to that Pango in this game. Team Spirit, they're
Yeah.
not having any more of that.
I guess another question is, where is this Timber going? Could it be a Malrine special hero in the mid lane?
10
Is it going to
seconds
definitely be in the off lane with the tankies? Just keeping it open for now, I guess.
I think it's a bit
5
open.
seconds remaining.
I think it's a bit open. Definitely Malrine can play it, but I think
Radiant
more
team
likely
ban.
than not, it's gonna be your offlane. Techie's Timber. It's a lot of damage. It hurts quite badly, and it's a lane where we could see Team Spirit go for a Juggernaut themselves. A hero that they've relied on in tough times. Yatra really likes playing it right now, and if it doesn't get banned in the second phase, I'm expecting
10
Team Spirit want to
seconds
play it.
remaining.
Juggernaut would be pretty decent against Timber, as you have
5
Healing Ward to
seconds remaining.
heal you back up. Sure, Techies has long range to try and snipe that Healing Ward, but there's no real threat for Juggernaut in Timbersaw.
Yeah, more respect on that Morphling as well. Banning out a couple of heroes from game one that Spirit just do not want to have to handle again. Looking down the line, it felt like both their supports in the previous game were these kind of fog heroes playing behind, sitting in pockets behind their cores, putting a lot on the shoulders of Collapse's Bat and Lars Ember. Would you like to see them, maybe change things up, have the Spirit Breaker as a 4, play more actively, give them another way to start fights outside of one core?
Maybe heck, it just go Spirit Breaker and Batrider supports, go the complete other route instead of having 2 supports that sit back. How about have 2 supports that can go in and create chaos? It looks like Team Spirit, with the way they drafted so far, Spirit Breaker, Batrider, is a very aggressive style of drafting. We could see them take the fight to Nemiga a bit here. Obviously, Timbersaw is
10
ready for a
seconds
brawl,
remaining.
but I would like to see Team Spirit be electing
5 seconds
violence here,
remaining.
That's a
Radiant team
flashback.
ban.
Darkseer ban because the Spirit Breaker is picked. Haven't seen that in quite some time. These Darkseer combos with the Spirit Breakers and Nyx Assassins running around with Iron Shell. Always fun to watch.
Not only that, but Batrider with Surge is also fantastic to go in and grab someone and pull them really far out of position. So also a potential combo.
10 seconds remaining.
Beastmaster out. So yeah, it looks like Team Spirit kind of
Spirits
covering
turn
their
to
bases,
ban.
making sure that what's going on here is all kosher and clean. Timbersaw, it could still be that mid lane for Malrine. Queen of Pain banned as well.
The Queen ban, obviously a high magic burst hero that can deal with Timber pretty well with the pure damage ulti as well. But it does signal a little bit to me,
10
maybe
seconds
they're
remaining.
thinking about a Wind Ranger when you see this ban. Maybe they're
5
considering some other
seconds
hero that
remaining.
struggles against the Queen on mid lane. Because if it's a mid Timbersaw, he wouldn't mind being against Queen of Pain that badly. It would be okay. But maybe they're thinking about one of these other options.
It's like that immediate burst, right? You're charged, you're lassoed, and you got the Queen of Pain to throw the damage over the top. Could have been a little too much to handle.
Yeah, it's the type of aggressive mid
Team
hero that I would
Spirits
like to see
turn
from Team
to
Spirit.
pick.
They could also go for, just a Void Spirit mid, or even go back for the Ember again.
Radiant
It's possible.
team pick.
Silencer.
Okay.
So we shore up. It's going to be a support silencer, almost guaranteed, and that means Spirit Breaker or Batrider is going to be core here. Quite likely, it's going to be a collapsed Spirit Breaker, a hero that he enjoys playing. I would love to see
10
that. Core
seconds
Spirit Breaker. I like it more than support Spirit Breaker. I just think his impact can be
5
really, really
seconds
high,
remaining.
and comes in with such a violent tempo to the game. Just keeps charging people all over the place. The enemy can't really react to it usually, because even though he has a bit of cooldown on his ulti, he doesn't rely on it. He can just keep charging, keep fighting.
Yeah, he's definitely a hero that, give him a couple of items and he's just this absolute beast. Yeah, super tanky, really great frontliner. Time for the double pick now from Nemiga. I mean, you're looking at this thinking, okay, they've got the jump with Spirit Breaker Bat, they've got the cover with that global silence, nice umbrella of safety. For now, we grab the Rubik. There's some decent spells to steal, and the Magnus again here in game 2. Aiming for a bit more team fight, a bit more lane control.
Some team fights, some control, and yeah, I think not a bad draft overall. They also have
10
some
seconds
shenanigans here they can do with techies, of course, repositioning stuff and having mines,
5
always nice.
seconds remaining.
But they don't have any form of dispels really in Nemiga, and you're playing as the Batrider Silencer. Could be nice to be able to get rid of the curse, the last word, the sticky napalm. This can be some
Radiant
annoying
team
things.
ban.
hitting you. And there it is. Team Spirit gonna go for exactly what I called early on here. They lean on the Juggernaut in times of need, and this is a time of need, Gareth.
It is.
They need to win.
Absolutely is. I mean, I don't know. I sounded a bit disappointed with this Rubik and Magnus. I'm stuttering over my words. I look at that double pick and I don't feel overwhelmed with happiness or sadness. It feels like a very bog standard hero. Two heroes that are going to do okay. Is there anything I'm missing here? Like Skewer Away to Telekinesis instant stun against Spirit Breaker, I guess is nice.
Yeah.
These just seem like safe heroes?
A little bit. Rubik is nice to have against both Spirit Breaker and Bat in a way. The instant disable is good, but Nemiga's draft, it doesn't really, sing together in a beautiful way right now. It's not really harmony, right? It's all the heroes look kind of fine, but the draft looks kind of sketched to me still. Whereas Team Spirit's draft, it looks nicer. I enjoy what they're building. They don't have a crazy team fight. Is the only thing that's missing. Like, they have good pick-off with Spirit Breaker and Batrider. They have good late game with the Juggernaut, and they have a little bit of team fight in the Global Silence combo, and of course lassoing people in, but they really will shine later on in the game. Nemiga now sending out the Wind Ranger themselves.
Yeah, like you said, something they were potentially worried about. Slark banned. See, that's the hero that I was thinking about. Out in my mind, if Nemiga got Slark as that last pick, everything would come together and would be like, nice, this is a good, well-grounded draft.
Yeah, they need something that glues together the entire draft, I feel. Now, I'm not sure. Like, Team Spirit are expecting it to be a Slark, and that this is not going to be a carry Magnus. It's going to be a offlane Magnus mid-Timber, perhaps. But I'm not sure if a carry, if one carry will make the entire draft look completely fine and everything is okay at that point, to me. But maybe you can go for something... perhaps even an Ursa, get some status resistance against the Spirit Breaker and Batrider, and be able to use your ulti against Juggernaut. Don't die to his Omni so easily. Empower him up. Possibly a carry.
Winter Wyvern ban. She's been popping up. This offlane Wyvern universal hero has been looking interesting. I've seen a couple of pubbers spamming it out.
Yeah, I think offlane works best. It can also be played mid, but it's tougher to play mid. But yeah, they could definitely do like mid Batrider versus the Timbersaw, and then offlane Wyvern, and then have a nice tempo with that. It's an interesting hero now. Does great with Rod of Atos.
And what's this last ban then? One more carry. Ursa, you mentioned. Any other options? Like if they ban Ursa, what's the remaining pick?
I was thinking about Void, for them. Faceless Void could work. It's usually a stock standard Empower carry that you're kind of happy to have. Obviously, they took away one in Juggernaut, but yeah, they're going to say Faceless Void. They get rid of it, but maybe respecting that one more. Oh, they took the other Void. Okay.
Carry Magnus?
Carry Magnus, mid Void Spirit. And that means we have an off-lane Timbersaw. Most likely, that's how the lanes are going to look. They could debate us with the lanes, or debate Team Spirit with the lanes. But this should be the way they run it.
Well, Empowered Void Spirit is going to be some disgusting stuff.
Yeah.
Universal heroes have looked very good this patch. They're still waiting for the analysis to come out, but I'm pretty sure they need to be fine-tuned down a little bit with the stat gain.
I did actually expect their damage to go from 0.6 to 0.5. Then it went to 0.7 instead, and I was like, that's very peculiar. They did change some stats, but I think one hero that they need to stop nerfing his spells, buff his spells, and nerf his stats is Void Spirit. I don't get it, dude. They keep reducing damage on his different abilities, but he has so absurd stat gain. He is the highest damage per level in the game at 5.53 damage per level, I think.
That's nutty.
Or 5.56, I can't remember, but more than 5.5 damage per level up is absolutely unheard of.
Oh, a cool little last pick there. Mirror Phoenix. So yeah, we're going to have the Collapse Spirit Breaker, Miposhka Silencer, mid Batrider for Larl, and Team Spirit this time around coming out swinging with some very hefty team fighting. Global, Supernova with the Spirit Breaker Batrider as your kind of bulwark, the guys who are up at the front, the vanguard to start things off. Allow Yatra to farm a little safer back behind them. Going up against this Nemiga side, they kind of needed it. They're facing into Techies, Rubik, Timbersaw, Void Spirit, heroes that don't rely on their long cooldowns too much. They can
10
continually
seconds
fight.
remaining.
They also don't have good heroes at all for hitting the egg right now. I
5
think the
seconds
Phoenix pick
remaining.
was genius. I think it fits really well here. Like, yeah, you'll go Echo Saber probably on both Magnus and Void Spirit, and that will help you a little bit. But Timbersaw is terrible. He is just straight up terrible. Rubik is ranged, I guess, but he doesn't hit very fast. Techie's same story there. He has long range, but he's not going to get many hits in on that egg. And if you stack up melee heroes trying to hit the egg, then you run the risk of being hit by a multi-hero charge from Collapse or Battle Fury Cleave from Yatoro. So I think this was a great read for a good hero to salvage the draft a little bit towards the end. And overall, I will favor Team Spirit's draft even more than I favored it in Game 1. However, Game 1, I thought they had a better draft than they lost. So they need to play sharper than we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, try and get some early lane advantage going. I mean, they've got who was it? It was FNG Silencer, right? Getting first blood, double kill, racking up a bunch of intelligence. There's definitely things this Silencer can do. You know, paired up with the Juggernaut to slow people down, spin into them. I'll have to watch for this Rubik Timbersaw lane, whether they can actually have the staying power they need as we head into Game 2. But first, a quick video and a message from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
For battle.
And welcome back. Game 2 here between Nemiga and Team Spirit. Nemiga with the 1-game lead in this best of 3. And of course, you're joining GARET and Waga here for the Tour 3 of the Eastern European DPC. Odds up on your screen, player cams abound. And Team Spirit after Game 1, not so many smiles anymore, much more focus in talking about how they want to kick things off.
Yeah, I mean, they need to focus up here, as we've seen in the previous series as well. Drop a game and then out comes the tryharding, but really want to see them just, play the way we expect them to and perform even stronger. We hold them to high standards, but that's just what happens when you are a former TI winning team.
Yeah, tighten up, focus up. Get yourselves into
30
fighting shape.
seconds to battle.
Round 1 didn't go your way. And right now, staring across the river, Nemiga and Team Spirit could be looking for this level 1 clash around the bounty runes. And just so often we see this, preparation, getting into position, and then everyone runs away and says, nah, we'll go for our own side.
It's as long as everyone holds formation in a good way, right? So you're looking for information, looking for any advantage. They see Void Spirit bottom with their Observer Ward, so they feel confident to go for the fight top here. Team Spirit in a good position.
Begins.
But
Yeah,
Flash out, gonna run away.
and Collapse, taking a bit of damage from the sticky bomb. Violence, Void Spirit. So it is the carry Void Spirit, the mid Timbersaw, and the offlane Magnus here for Nemiga.
Collapse took some damage, but he did get that rune, so 3 runes going the way of Team Spirit. Good start for them, getting a little bit of an edge here in the start of the game.
So he did, yeah. And the old tanky boy,
Oh,
850 HP with 5 armor.
yeah. I didn't realize that they
Carry
were gonna
Void
put the Timbersaw mid instead of Void Spirits.
Yeah. The Malorine special. And you said it, right? Timber against Bat Rider, not going to be as worried. Up at top, though, already a bit of damage from Yatoro and Miposhka. Vazia losing a lot of his early HP, but the turnaround play. Blood Grenade, Fade Bolt. Vazia, 3 seconds for Shockwave. Wants to dive this, but Yatoro dips into the trees and gets the distance, while Miposhka fighting Hell Scream. Everyone very low on a knife's edge in this first minute of laning stage.
Miposhka has so much int, he's doing so much damage. He's stolen 1 at a time here, and he's starting to hit really hard.
Gimme. Yeah. More damage. And Hellscream. Okay. Gets himself away. Vazia gonna get chased down. There's another spin there, but kill on Mira down at bottom. Violent gets the first blood with that first resonant pulse. Still level 1 on the Void Spirit, just doing enough damage with so bad.
Yeah, just auto attacks and some slow from Techie coming in to secure that. Some pretty impressive stuff for sure. Getting a good start.
Yeah, Phoenix reasonably squishy against all the pressure. Charge forward and the Fiery Spirits keeping so bad at arm's reach.
So far, a little update from mid lane as well. We see 10-4 versus 4-1 CS. Laurel having a very hard time here against Timbersaw so far. Timbersaw, a hero that doesn't really care about Batrider that much, since you can always Timber Chain away and get yourself to safety.
Yeah, and 2 points in Whirling Death. But applying quite a bit of pressure there. Got his stick, got his boots. But I was looking at the CS board and I kept sorting it, trying to figure out what was going on, because there's a Timber and Void Spirit right at the top, and everybody else had like no last hits. Everybody else just fighting and scrapping.
I mean, top was just a brawl.
Yeah. Nobody's allowed to touch creeps, only touching heroes. Like so bad down bottom, taking quite a bit of harassment again from Mira and Collapse. Have to play forward now with the sticky bombs. Yeah, top lane, Yatoro spinning away in the wave that's been pulled into a pull.
Yeah. And bottom, they're doing a good job harassing here on Nemiga as well, bringing some damage to Collapse, who's dropping pretty low. He's being passed tangles by Mira, who's trying to shield and protect him, but this Techies does so much damage in laning stage, and obviously Void Spirit is having a pretty good time here. Went for the Wraithband plus Bracer. Always love to see that. The Universal Classic.
Yeah, build up all the stats. And he's got his triple branches too. Every little helps.
Never know.
Malrine already... Oh, it's so upsetting, isn't it? Malrine just playing under mid tower. Lol has one bottle charge. Firefly's out. Glyph up the creep wave. Malrine considering the dive even deeper. Looking for Lol with another Whirling Death ready and a fair amount of trees around him. Lol cuts one of them. He's going to continue this and try and take him down. Second kill of the game. Coming up here for Nemiga. He's got him.
0 points reactive armor. He's level 5 now with 3 points in the Timber Chain. He doesn't need it against a Batrider because obviously physical damage is not really there. But that allows him to be hyper aggressive with the skill build, having more damage than you're used to from a Timbersaw, and that just brings him down. Again, we see Malrine off to a good start here in mid lane.
Dire's middle tower.
There's the Jeremy Clarkson of Dota 2. Just more power. Don't care about handling or smoothness of the ride, anything like that. Just damage, damage, damage. He's going to get himself a water in bottom. Maybe the one up at top. We'll see what happens. Right now, eyes on that top lane. My Hellscream and Vazzy just continually being battered down by these Glaives of Wisdom.
Yeah, almost surprised he didn't put 2 points in the Glaives, considering how much he's using it here.
Oh, Yatoro. Blood Grenade on him. No spin, but gets the healing ward out. Now an Arcane Curse and Miposhka, the real boss of this lane, getting involved while down bottom. Collapse. Always off to the side. Blood Grenade thrown out onto Sobad, who gets dived upon by the Phoenix. Finish off the Techies. Violent might be able to grab himself 1 or maybe even 2 kills. Phoenix, oh, pops the stick. Getting a bit of distance here, and we'll try to cross the bridge. Resonant Pulse, and it's not enough to kill him.
Meanwhile, a pretty big play on mid lane as well. We saw Laurel bully out the Timbersaw of Malrine there from the lane. Missing experience under tower as well as he had to TP base. Bottom. Violent gets the connection.
There's the catch.
Very nice use of the Ether Remnant there. Throwing it at an angle and connects.
Yeah, very well done. Complete free farm for him now. 30-8 on Violence Void Spirit. We've seen how he can do from, the hero, how he can do from the mid lane with this Echo Saber Deso build. From the safe lane, is it going to be the same itemization?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something similar, but yeah, he has power treads coming out already, so he's going to be hitting real fast and hard with that. Probably going to see an early Echo Saber into Deso. That sounds like the most logical. Don't see a reason to do something else. Manta Style is going to be a good option in this game, though. Again, Universal Hero, and having a Dispel against Phoenix, Silencer, and Batrider.
Yeah.
Definitely not a bad suggestion.
That's a great point. I would love to see him go for that. So, no Battle Fury Void Spirit then, hey?
I don't think so. Not when you have Magnus.
More cleave! He's against the Juggernaut. He can just show the Juggernaut who's boss with the big old cleaves.
Yeah, sadly you don't hit as many times as the Juggernaut does.
Yeah. Oh, they charge into that jungle and find Miposhka's Silencer. Hellscream and Malrine now angling in towards Lal, who's trying to farm some jungle camps after ditching the lane. Sobad showed up mid to gather up the experience while this dive continues. Not a comfortable ride for Team Spirit whatsoever. A 4-1, 1k lead for Nemiga, laning stage, bottom and mid looking pretty sad for Spirit.
Yeah, and
they dive in again. Lol, Chakram, blast off, sticky bomb to slow him down, and another timber chain forward will get Malrine on top of his target, finally killing him off and gathering that killing spree.
In the bright side of things, though, Team Spirit, they are in time for the Wisdom Rune steal here on Neposhka. Goes over, gets the Wisdom Rune, and gonna fight up against Hellscream, who was just not here in time on this Rubik.
Neposhka can't TP out, still on cooldown.
He's
He's gonna find a little...
He's gonna stay here for a while.
If he gets that courier snipe, it's like a massive victory for him. He'll get the Watcher instead, while down at bottom, try and make a play on Violence Void Spirit, but he's got 1,000 HP. Strength Tread toggled across to Agi. Get the attack speed going to look for Collapse. Pops the stick, and a bit more heal there as a blast off from So Bad. Aims for Mira, but Violent. He's targeting the Spirit Breaker, charged upon, and dies to the bashes. Collapse. He swings back, finds the Void Spirit, and now Mira are thinking about the go on So Bad.
A little bit of an outplay there with the Lotus plus the Magic Stick. Collapse baiting him there and then turning it around. Really nicely done in a situation where he doesn't have nearly as much power. He wasn't even level 6 on the Spirit Breaker there, but gets the kill, and that's going to help him a lot. Now gets level 6, goes on So Bad.
Taser.
Can't really kill him though. Yeah, Taser too strong.
Irritating spell. I was thinking about it with that Nether Strike though. Maybe with Mira joining in. Nah, he's just going to TP out. Well, Magnus, I hear him skewering around. Big old ancient stacks being built up by Nemiga for him. And a bit of a lane swap now. Void Spirit heads into mid. Malrine feels like he wants to be roaming around, causing a bit of havoc. Already starting to build up into his Aghanim Scepter. Techie's charged under his tower. Sunray, another strike, makes short work of him. But Malrine's here. Good dive away by the Phoenix to get away from the Whirling Death. And Collapse looks like he's okay too.
Batrider coming in. Maybe they can turn this around. He has Arcane Rune on Bat, so Malrine gonna start jumping away. Violent is nearby, but fighting into this could be difficult for the two of them.
Yeah, Lal just immediately using Tumbler's Toy to get a bit closer to his targets. Is this something though that... Oh god, Collapse disappears to Malrine and Violent, and another Astral Step is ready. Malrine keeping the vision over the Batrider. 5 seconds for Ether Remnant, and that chain missing means it'll have to come to a close now.
Chain was gonna land, but then he Tumblr's Toy forwards and burns the tree with the Firefly, so it misses. It's funny. Funny little details happening. Meanwhile, though, while the game is, you know, pretty chaotic on some other sides, we have a very calm game for Yatoro, and he is just farming away. He's sitting at 72 CS. Of course, the Magnus, though, has quite a few CS as well, his lane opponent here. So this lane is all about just amping up your farm, and with the Battle Fury build, Yatoro, he knows how to hard carry games. We'll see if he can scale hard enough to take care of this game as well.
Yeah, he's done it before. Oh, yeah, before that fight bottom kicked off, I was going to ask, is it possible or is it worthwhile for Team Spirit to contest these Ancients on the left side of the map?
I don't think they can really. I mean, you can steal Ancients with Batrider sometimes, but it takes so long. You need to build up so many sticky stacks, and before you have Battle Fury and Juggernaut, there's not really any way they can clear them. So it's probably just conceded. Let Magnus farm it. You can't really do anything about it. Meanwhile, looking for fights where they can, you know, play around Collapse, I think is the best way to spend your time here, and try to activate Spirit Breaker a lot.
Yeah, farm out some large camp stacks. Miposhka gets the soak mid, hits level 6. So they've both got their ultis on these Team Spirit supports now.
I love that
Supernova and
Malrine,
Global, very impactful.
10 minutes in, still doesn't have a single point in reactive armor. He's just committed. He is damage.
Oh, he's changed his mind as well, going Yule Scepter. And Dispel up against the Global, the Fiery Spirits.
You have to get a Dispel first item. It's either Lotus or Yule Scepter. And Yule Scepter, a little bit nicer because you can use it aggressively onto the Spirit Breaker, which is always valuable. I always come back to that. Being able to remove Bulldoze is really useful.
Yeah, get rid of Bulldoze, stop his charge. Lots of uses for it.
Can even save yourself from Juggernaut ulti with it. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously Lotus could also kind of save you, but what if he just doesn't ulti you and ulti something else? So
He's changed his mind again, by the way. He's like, Yule's Aghanim Scepter? Yule's?
Yeah.
Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, early Aghanims has a value. If you get Aghanims really early, then the opponents can't have a Dispel yet, because Team Spirit's lineup doesn't have a built-in Dispel. So then the Aghanims can be really strong. and it does add a lot of damage and survivability. He's committed. He's going for it now. Point booster is being delivered, so it's going to be Ags. This does prompt an early nullifier from Yatoro after he gets like his first 2 items. He probably has to go nullify a 3rd item. Something we've seen him do a lot into the matchups where it's good.
And Yatoro very close to that Battle Fury being finished. Spins around to make sure Valja doesn't get a free skewer on him, as they were starting to come through that twin gate. Arriving with 4 heroes top, Nemiga.
Maxed Empower on the Void Spirit. Happy to get that.
Oh yeah. And 200 damage a hit. Still waiting for his primary item, Echo Saber.
Both of them are working on their Echo Saber. Magnus is ahead in farm right now, but number 1 in farm is still going to be that Juggernaut. He is having a good laning stage.
Yeah, sees a creep wave top after farming jungle.
Move bottom now. Smoke move coming in. Wrap around.
Yeah, it feels like they want to try and get some usage out of these ultis. It's been a little bit too quiet and calm. They want to make some noise. And then shut it up with the global straight afterwards. So bad. Going to start things off with the blast off into charge interaction. Stops him in his tracks. Nether Strike there and onto this Timbersaw. He's tanky, but against this Sunray Supernova and the damage from Team Spirit doesn't last long. Techie's planting some mines on his way out. And Team Spirit bringing 4 heroes down here just to clap down on Nemiga in this bottom lane.
I also had Timbersaw with Shield Rune, and he just disappeared still. I was confused when I saw his Shield Rune come up, like, wait, he doesn't have Ags yet, does he? Yeah, but...
yes, same. They found another one, by the way. Miposhka was still lurking around in the shadows. Sees Hellscream.
Yeah, Violence.
Void Spirit.
Try and get out of this one.
Yeah, through the twin gate, and off he pops. That should be a tier 1 now for Spirit.
Does open up the bottom part of the map for them, and a really nice move there. I love the wraparound that they did. Nice and deep, and also good reaction by Collapse. The initial jump there could have been better for Nemiga if they connected, but the Spirit Breaker pushing back to Techie, stopping the blast off from connecting. Really made it so that there was no way they're gonna win the fights. Vasha
it's over.
Magnus stealing a bit of stacks from the enemy jungle here. Love the deep invasion.
Yeah. And Violent. He's trying to keep Yatoro on his toes. Get him to spin TP home. Gets off to the right side of the map, but there's not too much farm here to be gathered. Lala's clearing Ancients. And Collapses down in the lane. So Yatoro is going to have to make his home the mid lane. At least for now.
That's that maxed out healing ward. Always the same skill build, the 4-4-1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still feels though this Magnus and Void Spirit up on top. I mean, 5-to-1 odds. Now seems a little bit drastic with the way Nemiga have been playing here in game 1 and game 2.
Yeah,
They got an awful lot of power.
I agree. A lot of respect being given to Yatoro's Juggernaut, I guess.
And there's Malrine moving on to Collapse. Team Spirit reacting though with his Boots of Travel of Lol. Getting towards him. Lasso's going to come. The TP doesn't successfully complete. Malrine dead. Lol on the killing spree now.
Yeah, Laurel finding the right moves here and not having to invest too much as well. Just using his travels to get over there. Feels so happy about it. And that's going to put him almost all the way towards his BKB. He only needs 100 more gold here and he's going to have the entire thing. And obviously, BKB in this game blocks so much of the damage. The Timbersaw won't be able to do much. Void Spirit even, a lot of his damage is gone.
It's all coming together.
These dire wards. Mira sees everything around him.
Collapse
He knows the
coming in.
Violent is farming out that top lane. Charge coming across. I'm not going to go play too deep though. Yatoro sees Hellscream for a second, but I see some creeps instead. Yeah, cut up into the enemy triangle.
Yeah.
Under a Watcher at the same time. He just no fear.
I mean,
cutting
look
way
at the
top.
way he's
This is-
playing. This is some very... They should punish this. They're going over with Magnus. They do have the hero to punish it. RP is available, but he's TP out. Oh, that was... Actually channeled the shockwave animation there. It was not in time to get the RP. Very close though, but Yatoro has that awareness. That's the one thing he really became most known for after his TI win, was his godlike awareness of when he's being ganked as a carry. I think probably the most uncanny smoke sensor out of all carry players ever in Dota. Like, this man just knows when people are coming for him.
Yeah, it was one of those moments you could absolutely see the cogs turning, where he was like, I can kill this large camp, I can move over here. And then you had that moment of, I don't know, half a second of hesitation, where he moved to the Ancients and he was like, no, I'm being ganked.
Yeah.
And then he runs to the tree to TP.
He reads the map like no other player, for sure.
It was so good. Collapse and Lol. They're in onto So Bad. A quick little snipe on the techies. No real response from Nemiga here, but they bring Magnus in behind Violence Void Spirit and power him up. And wanting to make the jump onto Collapse, gets the charge out. The RP will connect, but the Global Silence, a bit of coverage. The trouble being that Nemiga brought numbers. 4 heroes strong to gather up that kill. And Team Spirit are running all the way across to the right side of the map, but they are still being hunted. Maureen and Vazia under a die ward. We'll have to clear that out first.
Always feels bad, Timber chaining away and dropping an item, but turns back around, gets the item at the end. Top Violent finds Mira.
Oh yeah, so he does. Quick dive away. Back towards Lol. The Supernova's down with a lasso over the top. So bad with a good blast off, but Violent into the Dissimulate, getting a bit of time to disengage, but dies to the damage over time. Anyway, and Vazia inside his Firefly. Gotta be wary with your positioning here, because there's a charge coming. And Batrider can still offer a lot of damage with just sticky stacks and napalm strikes. A charge, yes, on Vazia, still going. Collapse, Shadow Bladed up. Decides to change course.
Looking for techies.
So bad.
Finds him.
Hello. Another strike. And a few swipes of the mace. Vazia, Harpoon and Skewer, not going to work out as intended. Shockwave onto Lol, needs a couple of taps, and the Echo Saber will oblige him with the kill.
Lab still on the hunt though. Has to charge soon.
Can you keep the vision? Oh, we can't.
Backs out. There's still a tier 1 tower top, so a bit dangerous to chase there. Maybe Rubik shows up. Rubik with a stolen level 4 healing ward. Funny ability to have, but could be very useful for the next team fight, if they manage to get a big fight going.
Yeah, especially when you've got such tanky heroes, right? There's Timbersaw, Magnus, and Void Spirit all buying these big tanky stat items.
We can already see the intention from Yatoro, by the way. We talked a little bit about his itemization before when he played Juggernaut last time, but it's going to be the Sanjiasha because of the RP. Manta style is not super good here. And then it's going to be into Butterfly and then Nullifier. Already queued it up as they need that tool to deal with Timbersaw. Timbersaw, I think he has to go create things right now with his Aghanims, because this is on a timer. It's going to work really well until it doesn't. And the moment Nullifier is up, this Aghanims is going to be useless.
Yeah, especially with the speed that Yatoro can farm through these creeps. It's going to be Butterfly in 2 minutes, Nullifier like 3 minutes after that. He's very quick on his feet.
He's fast farming. And right now going together with his team a little bit as well in a wraparound move. Courier's in danger.
I think Radiant saw Yatoro moving here. Radiant high ground ward. Spotted the jog at least, but So Bad still going to get caught out along with the Courier as the charge and the lasso both utilized there to kill the techies as they swing into action onto Tormentor. And pretty soon Wisdom Rune.
So they're going for Roche as a reaction here on the side of Nemiga. They're taking Roche, but they're going to lose their own Tormentor to Team Spirit here. I mean, getting Aegis at least is a very nice deal for themselves. They almost have Manta style complete on Void Spirit as well. Shard to the Silencer. Not really the shard you'd want, but now he can steal more.
How much has he got so far?
10. Not that much.
That's probably for a pos 5. It's not that bad, right?
Yeah, but F&G, man, he had twice as much, more even.
That was an exceptional game from him. Now Malrine even stealing enemy ancients on that right side. Maybe they were considering going to the enemy Tormentor. Now deciding tier 1 has to be claimed first as Collapse charges into the middle of them, bulldoze out, so the telekinesis doesn't last long. Chakram gonna get stopped by the Global Silence. Nemiga gonna jump back to Mira, force the Supernova. Awkward fight, the focus in, but Collapse bashes them back. The eggs still scrambled though, as they focus it down, and Lol has to BKB up. Aghanim Scepter for Timbersaw, getting that tanky shield on himself. And everybody else disengages.
Fantastic fight for Nemiga so far. They didn't use a single ulti as well. Like, they can still keep fighting here. They have everything they need.
Both Global and Supernova used. Not really much in the exchange. And now Smoke to sweep across the map. They're probably looking for Yatoro, but he's over here on the right side farming Ancients next to his Silencer.
Yeah, he's about to take his Tormentor soon as well. Has that healing ward, probably. But also needs to shove the lanes. All the lanes are really far back right now.
Lol. He's the one they find. Swept by Nemiga. Now look at this Magnus with a pipe, the harpoon. Lotus Orb coming up soon as well.
So
more ways to get rid of these spells.
Spirit Breaker or Phoenix? Who gets the shard here?
Spirit Breaker. Oh.
It's gotta be
It's always the one you don't want until now.
Yeah, they're low rolling on the RNG. Mid tower.
He even had it queued. He wanted to buy it as the Phoenix. And just in case he didn't get it there, he has the money for it. But yeah, tower mid for Nemiga. Collapse invis. Scouted by the well-placed sentry.
Yeah, had he bought it first, they would have been between the Batrider and the Spirit Breaker instead. Who gets it? Can pass it up.
Now he's going to think about what item he actually does want to buy. Yatoro walks straight into Violent. Gets through the Ether Remnant with his Blade Fury.
Ether Remnant looks so silly when you have Magic Immunity or Debuff Immunity. You walk through it, it's like it's pointing at you as though it's pulling you.
It does absolutely nothing.
This Butterfly's up. Jug is strong.
Oh, well done by Jug. Tanks the Ether Remnant so Collapse can continue charging. They're in on top of this Magnus, Lasso, and Global as the Omni Slash bounces onto the Timber Saw. Vazia still has the ability here to turn an RP, but he skewers away to safety as the shield from the Timber Saw allows him to move forward aggressively. Very tanky Axe Timber, and the Aegis pop from Violent gives him the second life. But it doesn't look like Nemiga want to turn around and fight. They want to bail. Malrine is dead. Vazia couldn't really rejoin until now with a skewer, but the RP stopped by the bash turnaround play from Team Spirit. But Yatoro stuck on the high ground. He's on the cliff. They want to RP him down, but they don't catch him. Collapse gets caught up in it, got the bulldoze off, so status resistance protects him. And now Lol getting blown up by mines. Violent jumps across, dissimulates into Collapse. And Team Spirit scratching their heads, wondering what the hell is going on in this fight. People stuck high ground, people being RP'd around. Yatoro with no Omni Slash wanted to rejoin again. Has Blade Fury. Gets away from the sticky bomb and the Remnant, but my god, that was wild!
Vazia has to be so fuming right now on the Magnus. He gets a beautiful skewer, absolutely fantastic, about to RP, and then gets bashed up so he can't do it. And then he tries to go for it again, gets bashed, and then RPs afterwards, but got pushed so far that the Juggernaut didn't get in the RP. Like the bash actually repositioned him away from the cliff enough that the Juggernaut just TPs out instead.
And then Spirit Breaker got bulldozed off as well.
Yeah, you can see Collapse though. I mean, how much impact is this Spirit Breaker having? We talked about Juggernaut and how farmed he is, but that fight was won on the back of Spirit Breaker.
He's going again. Oh, thinking about it.
He wants to fight, and he's doing his Collapse Classic, of course, as well. The double speed, the face boots, and the boots of bearing.
Yeah, we need the blue hedgehog skin for Spirit Breaker here. Yatoro and Lol onto Vazia, stops the charge. Another strike thought about by Collapse, but he's waiting for his moment to strike. Mid-skewer catches Vazia Global over the top as well, allowing Yatoro to open up and kill the Magnus off.
-4 int, Mihoshka gonna take that and walk away.
Oh, yeah.
Tower now in danger here as Juggernaut is going to siege it up. I think this is spelling big trouble though for Nemiga. The fact that they're not winning the fights when there's nothing to counter the Aghanim's Timber. And that's really the one item that you have right now. You have Aghanim's and the Kaya. So the moment Nullfire is going to be complete on Juggernaut, which is not too far away, considering he's taking towers, pushing. He's going to force people home here. They're leaving base, but... Okay, he just shoves away TPs. He wants farm.
Yeah, doesn't even bother spin TPing, just straight up the top. Understanding with that high ground vision, nobody's coming, nobody nearby. Another charge, where's that going? I'm just hearing noises on a Juggernaut. Ooh, losing a lot of his HP early on, but just the two heroes from Nemiga collapsing onto the Jug.
Yeah, the Nether Strike was interesting there from the Rubik trying to lock down Juggernaut, but Ooh, they can't catch him. Too slow. This man is too fast. And he's going for the
shouting run.
Going for the Kaya and Yasha as well. Beautiful next item here. Item that doesn't get so much attention.
Very good in Spirit Breaker though.
No mana on Spirit Breaker. I think he has to back out and get full mana. Gonna TP base. And it's really kind of the one hero that we see it like somewhat consistently on.
Yeah, so why is that over the Aghanim Scepter?
It is a bit surprising to me that he's opting not to go Aghanims first. The cooldown reduction I thought would be stronger, but I don't know, he just wants to go fast, man. Looking at his item build, this man wants to go speedy. He's gonna have 5 items that make him run faster at that point.
Well, the man does what he wants. Eyeing up Malorine's Timber top. Team Spirit prepping themselves for a fight as the Lotuses get grabbed up by Hellscream.
He has that night vision on Spirit Breaker, so he can see Rubik before he sees him.
So he can. I like that. Well, Roshan, 45 seconds till fast spawn. Probably going to be a nighttime Roche. Oh, lol. He finds the lasso on the Void Spirit and the Omni Slash in onto him and Malorine. That's serious trouble for Nemiga. Gets off the shield in time though and dissimulate away from the Void Spirit, but Malorine, the magic damage, taking him over with a Spirit Vessel, tries to chain TP. He's out of there. No, he's not. He's stunned up and caught.
That was so beautiful initiation right there, and all of it again because the Spirit Breaker going in with his night vision, providing vision for them. Laurel gets in there, gets a good grab, pulls them back, and again Collapse charging through, just busting through the defenses there of Nemiga. They couldn't help the lassoed up Void Spirit, so he just had to barely survive, and then the fight was in shambles. They couldn't really fight from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Magnus and thinking, hey, he had such a good first 15-20 minutes going this Harpoon, then into the pipe, but it still feels like he needed this Greaves or Lotus Orb earlier, and now it feels like he needs that plus a Blink. We need that surprise initiation to come out of the Magnus somehow.
I almost feel like he needed not the pipe, but like a full right-click committed build to keep scaling, keep up with the requirements of this game to have impact as a right-clicker. Mid.
Yeah, Juggernaut gets out of danger with his spin, and Collapse is there with another strike, and the Supernova Sunray making sure Nemiga can't fight into this. Spending a couple of ultis as Team Spirit, but protecting your Juggernaut. He's the be-all and end-all, the big carry in this game. Well worth your time.
Yeah, don't want him to die. He hasn't died a single time this game so far, and Yatoro is well on his course to carry this game. Has the Titan Sliver now as well for even more status resistance, so pair that up with Sanjiasha, and you're already looking at a very hard to lock down Juggernauts.
My tooltip says 0.0% status resist.
Mine too, which is great. Thank you, Valve.
Yeah.
Maybe we build up plus right? To be able. Maybe it's casters need to pay extra.
Yeah. My Dota Plus did expire today, actually. I got the notification saying it expired.
I think
that's the reason the tooltips are gone.
I just gave them my credit card info. Sign me up for life. Take my firstborn. Take everything.
Yeah, I think I signed up for 3 years, and my 3 years ran out today. It's been a long old time. But I don't know. I got a bunch of tokens and stuff that they were handing out to people. So I've got like one. I'm just activating 1 day of membership at a time. 3 days of membership. Nice. Every couple of days, I'm going to go into my inventory to hunt for the...
I think I already activated a bunch of those while I had mine still running. You can like extend the duration.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a clever way to do it, but...
Let's see the positioning here from Nemiga. High ground vision for Team Spirit on their own cliff.
And smoked up as well. Malorine. Oh, he shows. Lasso, Nether Strike, Nullify. Malorine obliterated by Spirit. The first point of contact as Vazia skewers across with the Harpoon, and the RP whiffs completely. Well, Vazia, not the connection he wanted, gets Omni Slashed by the Jug, and now Team Spirit just running roughshod over Nemiga. One by one, they'll die. At least they get the kill on Collapse. And Violent still thinking about fighting here with the buyback out of Malorine. They want to make the most of this. They're on top of Yatoro, but he's got the global to protect him, and a Sunray healing him back up, stands his ground and kills off Violent. Can't be touched. The Juggernaut's protected by everybody here. Hellscream has to charge into Lol to stop the follow through, but Hellscream's put himself in a dangerous spot now, and a jump in from Lol. Flame Break not going to connect at the right time into that timber chain. Chakram's out, but
More or less
Malreen's
lasso.
dieback. Looks like he tries to go in deep to find some kills, but dies in the end regardless of it all.
He wants Rubik.
He's going to find him. Lasso him back.
And
5
Healing Ward.
kills for Team Spirit. Techie's the only one left standing.
Healing Ward gonna bring them all back up to full HP here as well after losing a really handed fight there. All the saves onto the Juggernaut, the Solar Crest, the Pavis, the heal from Mira, the combination of tools that they use to make sure that he stays alive there. And the amount of effort that it takes to bring down even Spearbreaker in this fight. Nemiga, it just looks like they're running out of gas in these fights. Even with buybacks, they can't stand against all that Team Spirit have.
Yeah, there's too many pieces of this puzzle that Nemiga need to put together. Vazia, you can feel how desperate he is to land these RPs just onto one target, and he can't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Harpoon is not Blink. It is a lot slower, and skewering in for the RP at this stage of the game is very difficult to do. They have so many reactions. They can global, they can Spearbreaker charge you, they can, you know, react in a number of different ways to stop your initiation. And I have to come back to this again. I feel like the impact of this Timbersaw is falling off completely. Now, you know, the lowest farmed of every single core about to be overtaken by the Phoenix as he had to expend his buyback there in last fight. But it's just about this item for me. He is a level 30 Timber. He knows better than I do, I'm sure. You know, he's a god gamer. But the Aghanims looks useless in these fights because of the Nullifier. It doesn't do anything at all. Fully dispelled, fully gone. I think it just puts you on such a horrible timing. You have to win really early, win all the fights early before Nullifier comes out on the enemy team. And Jug, it's probably the carry that is the happiest to buy an early Nullifier. He's not mad about that at all.
Yeah, he's like, okay, you're going to buy Ghost Scepters and Yules and Timbersaw Aghanim Scepter. I'd buy Nullifier anyway. It's part of my build.
Ooh, Violent. In trouble.
Oh, gets the Dissimulate off, but the chase is on. The Scythe of Vice from the Phoenix. It's there with a nice jump in from the Swift Slash of Yatoro after munching on the Aghanim Scepter consumable. And Void Spirit dead for 1 minute. Tough times ahead for Nemiga.
Yeah, dead for a minute. No buyback available for him, as well as he did spend out his gold trying to buy his own Nullifier, understandably wanting it against this Spirit Breaker. But now dominant control on the map here for Team Spirit, shoving in lanes, taking mid, pushing top creep wave as well, setting up for finishing off some racks here. They have the Aegis for 4 minutes as well.
Yeah, it's high ground time. Up we go. Healing Ward stolen by Hellscream. See if you can get anything done with it. Yatoro just front lines here. Yeah. Solarcraft, Pavis. All the buffs in the world.
Melee cores. Nobody wants to get close to this Juggernaut.
And you can't chip away at him. You can't poke him. You can't kill Healing Ward. Yatoro just does what he wants. Full set.
No response right now. Swapping in the Hyperstone even. Going for a Moonshard next.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man wants to hit fast.
Cheese and treads in backpack. I just want attack speed.
Gives over the cheese to the Batrider now. See, you don't need move speed if you have Swift Slash. It moves you. It's a mobility item.
Get you on top of your targets. There's a Wisdom Rune here waiting for Mira as well. Level 18 Phoenix.
Everybody alive here, at least for Nemiga, but how do they solve the puzzle? It's just, you know, they're presenting a Juggernaut. They try to harpoon him, he spins. Then
Not gonna work. And this might just be their last fight. They've got buyback on Rubik and Techies. Nobody else has the money or the cooldown for it. And the Scythe of Vice to catch the Magnus as he blinks in to try and initiate. And Lala's in the back on the Timbersaw. Vazia, still alive, kills off Yatoro with a massive amount of burst damage, blowing up the Jug. Second life, second round, comes back in, taunt him up. Yatoro, pretty low, but has the global as coverage. Nice umbrella of safety there, but Team Spirit a little scared as Malreen. He's going to charge in with his Timber Chain, trying to continue this fight, kick Team Spirit off your doorstep.
They have Healing Ward again. The cores are going to get their HP back. Batrider keeping the sticky napalm going here, but as they all get back up to full HP, we should see Collapse going in soon again.
I still have their RP. How did Jug die so quickly? It's just snapped in half by Nemiga. Mines. Yeah, oh god, they've got to catch on Violent.
Yeah, they brought him back with a skewer into 5 mines planted by so bad. So that's something he can only really do once. He has 3 mines now, but he's out of cooldown. RP.
Hey, Vazia. RP. 2 of them caught up in it. Lol and Yatoro, but the skewer play doesn't work out. Malrine moves in. Blast off forward from so bad, but the Swift Slash, Omni Slash, kills them off. And Nemiga on their last legs. Malrine gonna get focused down, and GG is out. Game 2 goes the way of Spirit, yet again going the distance.
Team Spirit are having a bit of a trend here in the Eastern European Div 1 DPC. Game 1, they always drop it and they look kind of weak, and then game 2, they look stronger. Game 3, are we gonna see the classic here that they just absolutely destroy the game? Because this was somewhat of a fight. This was pretty close. It looked good in the start for Nemiga even. I have to go back a little bit to itemizations if they could maybe have addressed this game differently. But overall, you're running a Void Spirit carry and the enemy is running a Juggernaut. You're free farming a Void Spirit, you're free farming a Juggernaut. The difference is massive, and Juggernaut was actually getting more farm in laning stage as well. The Void Spirit did get a lot of pressure from just collapse the way he was playing. I think this game was just clean from start to finish. If you look at it from Yatoro's perspective, he's like, cool, I went into the game, I hit some creeps, nobody really ganked me during my lane, I got my Battle Fury without dying at all, then I jungled a lot, got my Sanchiasha, and then I farmed up my Butterfly, and all this, he had been part of 1 kill. By the time he had Butterfly, 1 assist was his KDA. Literally 1 assist. The first 20 minutes, he was 0, 0, 0. This is a very passive style of Juggernaut, but it's also gonna carry. It wins. So Nemiga, I think they tried to play on the timing, but they didn't have building damage. Their draft, I don't really agree with it. I said that I favored Team Spirit in game 2 quite heavily in the draft, and a lot of it comes back to you don't have stronger late game on Nemiga, and you don't have stronger hard carry. So what do you really have? Do you have a timing that you can explode and just destroy the game? And how are you going to destroy the game if you don't have building damage? Ultimately, a complicated game for Nemiga. I think they did the best they could, but Team Spirit, that looked pretty simple.
Yeah, especially when you add in these teamfight elements, right? The Silencer and the Phoenix looked like perfect complements to this hard carry Jug. They had the backup with Global and double Sunray basically to heal him alongside the healing ward.
Yep.
So this one guy is just going to be topped up permanently. But yeah, it's not just a trend this tour, but in previous tours we had a similar situation with Team Spirit. Not as consistent as Tour 3 so far, but they were definitely drop game 1, and then game 2 or 3 they'd whack out the Yatoro Ursa. That was a hero that he really relied on as a linchpin game-winning hero for him. Juggernaut seems like that's their pick this time around to get themselves into better spots in series. As game 3 coming up, tying things up, of course, 1-1 between Nemiga and Spirit. We'll take a quick break and come back with that final match.